Mrs. Maisie Williams as Arya Stark.
Sif Turner as Sansa Stark.
Isaac Hempstead Wright as Bran Stark.
Yeah, Isaac, you just go for it.
And here comes our opera singer. I don't even know the tune anymore.
Yeah, this is the bit where the tune changes. Okay, I've completely lost it.
That's okay.
I am actually a professional singer. I'm not sure if you noticed.
Sophie, I love your talent.
Thanks, Maisie.
So gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Game of
Thrones. Thank you. Thank you very much. David and Dan. Action.
It is episode 28 of the newly named Furycast. No longer Geek Furious the podcast because it takes too long to say. Although now I'm starting to realize that saying it takes just as long to say Furycast as Geek Furious the podcast. Okay, so anyway, that's the new name. It's just easier to type. With us this week for the Game of Thrones finale. How do you pronounce this finale? It's Valar Morghulis.
No, it's,
Yeah, like it runs with Juliana Margulis.
Oh, thank you, Juliana Margulis.
I think it is Juliana Margulis. I don't think it's what you said.
Oh, okay. And I should mention that we have off in the background there with us PunkaTess,
yeah, what up?
who has not been on one of our podcasts in a long time.
I know, I'm terrible.
I think it was Chuck last time, right?
It was Chuck, and God, I don't even remember. It's probably like 2 years ago, even.
Yeah, Maureen Ryan from
Yes.
then. Who was she working for then?
Chicago Tribune?
Chicago Tribune. Then she moved to AOL, and now she works for
I have no idea.
Ariana Huffington.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah?
Yeah, she works for the Huffington Post now.
Oh, that's fucking rad.
Yeah, it is.
Sure.
I know. So that was the last podcast. If anybody ever wants to go find it, I don't know. Maybe I'll post a link to it or something. Anybody who's curious. All right, so we just watched the Game of Thrones finale. It was last week's was so simple, and Jess and I talked about that last week, like how simple, and because it was really just one storyline. This week we got basically all of them. At one point I thought we weren't going to get Jon Snow. I was getting very upset.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you not have Jon Snow? But of course, thankfully we got Jon Snow. Now,
You have a crush on Jon Snow? Is that it?
I got a little crush.
Hey, he's a handsome dude. I mean, I'm gay, and I'm saying he's a handsome dude. So.
Yeah. And I'm not gay, and I'm saying he's a handsome dude. So, I think that
I'm not gay, and I'm saying he's a handsome dude.
Aww.
Consensus.
Look at that. There's a consensus between the gays, the not gays, and the not. Wait, no. Okay, the hetero, not. No, the male.
I was like, I think you're, leaving out a detail here.
The lesbian, straight women, and straight men all agree.
You need a lesbian to really straighten this whole thing out, because I had no clue what I was saying. I want to jump to the ending, and I don't care. I'm gonna jump there. I was totally not expecting to get the White Walkers.
They looked like shit.
No, I thought all of a sudden I was watching The Walking Dead. I was like, wait, what happened to Game of Thrones? I mean, The Walking Dead is a great show, and I watch it all the time, but I like Game of Thrones way more. And I was just like, wait, why? Why are we doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect them to look like that. And I'll tell you I'll tell you my only problem with it. It reminded me too much, not even of zombies. It reminded me of something from those pirate movies.
Yes! Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, yeah.
It looked.
Well, the main one had the nose of like a lion, of a large cat, and I didn't get that.
But I gotta say one thing about it though. Fucking zombie horse. You never see zombie animals. That was awesome.
Yeah, and also, you know, one of my biggest problems with zombies, or no, my biggest problem with zombies, and why I don't like zombies, is the fact that they are just like a horde of nothing, just of killers, and they have no personality, and there's nothing there. Whereas these zombies, at least they seem to be taking orders, they have weapons, they have horses. That's kind of cool, actually. I think that's cool. At least the idea behind that is cool.
I was just expecting them to be like really sort of imposing looking.
And more badass. Yeah, more
yeah.
angry maybe.
I mean, maybe it'll look cooler when if they fight one. It looks like this weak, like malnourished thing, but it like kicks the shit out of everyone.
Yeah,
I guess that could look cool.
Well, when they fought him before, it looked like a tough fight. Like when Jon Snow killed that first one, you know? They were fast and he was strong, and these guys look like you could just, like, push him over with a finger.
Oh, where the fuck is Ghost again? Missing.
Ghost is the biggest pussy ever.
They even had those other dogs. They didn't have Ghost. I mean, seriously. Maybe he found himself a little mate.
Yeah. I think he found himself another direwolf, and he was just like, I ain't coming back. Fuck that Jon Snow bitch.
There's some shit got messed the fuck up tonight. Like, this whole... I've been waiting for the House of the Undying.
I knew you were gonna hate this. Okay, go ahead.
Well, okay, first of all, Drogo was there, and I was like, fuck yes! Take your clothes off, but he didn't.
Aww.
But he was shirtless.
I know, but... No.
She needs him naked. Okay.
Yes. But the problem is, like, I mean, they had those visions of like the Great Hall or whatever it's called, you know, all covered in snow and all that shit. But they left out all this stuff. Like, she had all these visions of like her dead brother. It was not nearly as she wasn't tripping balls the way she was.
You know what? My problem. And again, didn't read it, but I expected that you would have a problem. As soon as I saw the sequence, I was like, oh, Jess is not going to like this. Because I could tell that it was very minimized, you know? So I was like, oh, okay. And, but...
Also...
No, but my biggest problem with it was, you know, it's a really cool moment when she calls on her dragon, or dragons, to spit fire. And then it's like a lighter. Like, you know, and this guy who's supposed to be like magical and shit.
Exactly. Which is why that didn't happen in the books, because that was stupid.
That was really dumb. I mean, it's supposed to be a really cool moment. Like, and by the way, this is the only moment in the episode where I was like, totally, like, this is not fucking right. These dragons, it should be more like in season 1 when she's engulfed in flames and shit, you know?
Well, the reason this is also annoying is if... In the book, when they finally do blow fire out of their mouths, it's a big fucking deal. Like, it's a huge moment. Like, she fucks somebody up doing it. And it wasn't this stupid guy in this room. Like, there's a whole storyline of her trying to teach them, and they aren't big enough, they can't do it. And then when she finally gets one of them to do it, it's like this cool moment. And now we're not going to get that because...
No.
I loved it. I thought it was fucking badass. Honestly, like, I was just waiting. I was so sick of that fucking bald bastard. I wanted him to die so badly. I never wanted to see his face again. And I love Daenerys. She's like, her and Arya are probably my two favorites. And dude, she keeps getting fucked over every single episode. So I was happy that finally something went her way.
Well, she got fucked over with the storyline with this season in general.
And I mean, part of that is also because she's not in it that much. So they had to kind of squeeze her into most of the episodes. And I think that part of that is because she became so popular after season 1. Listen, I love that part where she basically says, you know, she basically gives the command. That part is killer. I just wish the fire had been cooler.
I agree.
Or it made sense that they could light on fire a dude who can show up 10 places in a room.
Exactly. I mean, little problems, whatever. It's whatever. It's TV. And maybe if they
She's
had,
my girl, though. That's why I get annoyed with this stuff.
yeah, no, I know, and I think
Arya, Team Arya. She's my girl.
so. Arya, she is this season. Tyrion and Arya are my favorite characters, and everything really with Arya. I think, you know that it's not going to happen, but she should get an Emmy nomination.
Yeah.
I think there are 3 people who deserve Emmy nominations, and then the rest could fight it out for Emmy noms. I think the girl who plays Arya, the kid who plays Joffrey, and Tyrion. I mean, these are, especially the kid who plays Joffrey, because everyone hates him so much, you know?
I know, but I don't think he deserves a nod for it. I mean, it's
Why?
so much easier because it's so easy to play a character like that. I'll tell you. I mean, honestly,
Have you ever
Lita Headey deserves a nomination ahead of him.
Well, maybe she will get one, but
He is really good at switching between, like, thinking he's the shit and being scared shitless.
yeah,
Like,
I think he's
Yeah,
brilliant.
he is.
I think he's brilliant. And in fact, in this episode, when he does the whole, but I swore an oath, he almost comes off as like, I'm a good king. I've seen that. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen people do that in, like, a corporate world. I've seen it done in my family, where somebody was so full of
I
shit.
feel bad for him in that marriage because Marjorie seems like she
Oh, I
would
can't-
fuck him up.
She's gonna
I
eat him
can't wait
alive.
to see.
Something, yeah. She knows what the fuck she's doing, that girl.
Yeah.
I was so excited by that. I was like, dude, I hope she fucking kills him with a dagger.
Sansa was awesome, though. She was like almost skipping down the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I'm here to, I love King Joffrey.
She's, I think all the kids, especially,
Yeah.
done really well this season. So much in this episode. I'm trying to
We
remember.
were talking about Arya. We can talk about
Arya,
Joffrey and
okay.
You know what? Now that we said that it should be Juliana Margulis, I want someone to make a video where he turns around and it's Juliana Margulis' face.
Now, what he says, what he tells her, I thought he was telling her, like, his new name or something. But I was like, wait, what? But
I
it
think it's
means...
his original name.
No, it means something.
No, it's a term for him to change and start a new task.
Well, what he says, okay, but he's like a shapeshifter, I guess, or something.
He can change his face, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I meant.
Change because he's ugly as shit. He needs to change his new face.
He needed
I was hoping that when he turned around and changed, he was going to be Arya's dance instructor from season 1.
I like the fact that, you know, there's more to him than we could have imagined.
There's too many kinds of magic on this show. I'm like, how's there like 10 versions of being a witch? Or a wizard, or what the fuck ever?
Why is there a limitation to witchery? I mean, can't it all just be possible?
So I feel like it has to exist in some plane or another.
That red priestess. I mean, like, what does she have magic powers?
That's the thing, they all do, but they all have
doing?
different magic powers. Like, the guys in the House of the Undying have certain powers, and Jaqen has certain powers, and the priestess has certain powers, but nobody has the same ones. And nobody
You're right. It
believes
doesn't
in the
make. There's
same
no
thing.
consistency.
I don't need consistency, and I think this is a very
just
chicky
makes it
conversation.
confusing.
I don't like this conversation. Okay, so anyway, so we don't even need
I don't know what that means.
now, apparently, because, you know,
How did Stannis not get captured?
Because he's a badass.
yeah, I guess he...
Stannis is a badass? Oh my god, Stannis is not a badass.
No, he is a...
Yeah, he's a badass.
Yeah.
He's a
He
fucking
fought like 10
moron.
guys on that
So
wall
what?
by himself.
He's a badass anyway. I mean, just because you don't
He
like...
killed like everyone up on his wall during that battle.
Yeah, the guy went up the ladder first. Who does that?
Someone who knows they're a badass.
Well,
Psychotic Stannis.
I think part of that too was that Stannis so believed that he was gonna win that he was just like, well, I'm gonna win. The god has said so.
Why didn't he bring his little shadow baby?
I don't even know if is it I don't know. Maybe the shadow baby was a
I
one.
think it was a one-time thing.
Went with Littlefinger to go get cigarettes
No,
because
no,
they both
see-
were like MIA.
When he asked, "Where's your god?" She said, "Inside you." Maybe that was just a manifestation.
Oh, they have to
him.
keep fucking.
Yeah,
He's
I don't.
pregnant now. He's pregnant with the shadow baby.
I think he's pregnant. I think this is a very forward-thinking show. They're dealing basically with.
He's like a seahorse.
Well, no. He's like Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie. gives birth to a baby. It is not a tumor, it is a baby.
Okay, we've gone
Let's
way
talk
off
about
topic.
Rob marrying Jennifer Love Hewitt and how she can only give him happy endings now.
This is so wrong, man. This guy's an idiot.
He's so stupid.
An idiot. Rob Stark.
Rob, what are you talking about? How's he
He's
the stupid
dumb.
one?
He's the fucking idiot. He promised himself to somebody else, and that breaking with that loyalty is gonna get him killed.
No, it's not.
You
Yes,
see, it's
it is.
he's like, I mean, when you're in that position, I mean, if he wasn't fighting a war, I'd be like, do whatever you want. But that's fucking stupid.
Even fucking Joffrey knows that you can't just fucking break a vow. And Joffrey's an idiot. And he knows that you can't just do it. And fucking... Yeah, and Joffrey goes and murders just anybody he wants. And Rob is supposed to be, like, smart. And he's just thinking with his dick right now. And he marries...
He obviously
Jennifer
can
Love
sleep
Hewitt.
with her without it, so I don't see why he did
Yeah,
that.
or maybe he...
Joffrey didn't get to kill the Hound.
What?
He said Joffrey can kill anyone he wants. He didn't get to kill the Hound.
I think part of that is because he thought the Hound was with him. He was just shocked that the Hound abandoned him.
That was badass.
I think he was just like, what the fuck? My dog is running away from me? Actually, I think he acted like his dog was just leaving him.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't believe my puppy is gone.
I thought he had taken Sansa. I was surprised that she was still in the castle.
I'm sure that
I would not go. I mean, okay. He obviously has a little thing for her and wouldn't let anything happen to her, but I wouldn't be like, yeah, I'm gonna go with this creepy ass dude who's like, killing is the sweetest thing in the world.
I would.
I totally would.
Not.
Yeah.
If I was a 15-year-old girl, I don't think so.
Maybe.
Oh, hell yeah. He looked out for her every step of the way. If
Mhm.
you watch it subtly, he's always looked
First
out
of all,
for her.
you know
Yeah,
what?
but she's not
I don't
watching it from our perspective.
Did Sansa not watch The Professional?
No, she did not.
Hmm?
It's on her Netflix queue. She's been watching it.
But with magic, she could have seen it.
Yeah. I mean, she has to have Netflix on one of her windows.
One of the best movies ever.
The Professional?
Yeah, Leon. I like the international version much better.
The Professional is an interesting movie, except if you watch it with a bunch of really pervy guys.
Oh God.
It's no. I think I've told Jess this, but or at least I mentioned it on a podcast, where watching The Professional with just men who don't seem to have a filter and who think like, hey, I'm in a circle of men here. It's cool now. We can, because we all know. And then they're like, oh man, I would totally fucking do Natalie Portman, man. You're like, she's 12.
Guys talk like that. I want to be like, you realize these are the lines they write for villains in movies,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, guys
This is
don't know that. Guys don't know that.
There was a website that was set up, and it was just a simple page, and it was counting down until Natalie Portman's 18th birthday.
Oh god.
There's probably one for Emma Watson. I'm sure.
I'm
there
not
is.
kidding. It was ridiculous.
Wait, Emma
Watson-
Watson?
She's already over 18.
Yeah.
I know. So is Natalie Portman. I'm just saying there probably was one.
Oh no, there was. No. I know no, I don't know. I do not know that for a fact.
You started it, didn't you? You perv.
Oh my god, Emma Watson turns 18.com. That was mine. No, I didn't. I've never really been that into Emma Watson anyway, so I like her character, but I've never been much into her.
I have no urge to see any of her other movies. I'll just say that.
Exactly. So
Let's talk about your guy.
No. I want before we talk about that, we were talking about Arya, and I wanted to bring one thing up. There's a video on YouTube of Maisie trying to down some cinnamon.
Doing the cinnamon challenge is what it's called.
She does that, and it's you should watch it. You guys should just find that Maisie does the cinnamon challenge. It's pretty funny. Even though that is dangerous to do, and by the way, has been busted by Mythbusters. You can, in fact, put a whole spoonful of cinnamon in your mouth, and
Maybe they don't get that in the UK.
if you put it in your cheeks, in the in the cheeks of your mouth,
Your ass cheeks.
no, your cheek of your mouth, you can eventually get enough saliva in there to swallow it. Anyway,
Yeah, but that's not the point. Is to chug it. Just do it like a shot.
yeah, and die. Apparently, that's the other one because they're trying to get somebody to die from it. All right, now we're gonna talk about who did you want to talk about, Jess?
Your boyfriend.
Tyrion. So, I think, look, I'm a guy, okay?
fucked up the ass in so many ways this
He
episode.
looks so cool. I wish I had a scar like Tyrion does. Man, I want
I
a scar.
agree, it makes you look bad. But in the book, he's already really hideous, so that must have been made up for the show.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I mean, that's what I didn't understand is because I'm like 200 pages into the first book, and so they've already described him as like this horrible, like he's got 2 different colored eyes and all this stuff. I'm like, you really didn't do that. They reined it in. I mean,
Well, George Martin talked about this, that when they were, discussing who was going to play him, they only had one guy in mind. There aren't that many little people who are, Oscar winner or, Emmy winners,
Right.
So, unfortunately, but maybe this eventually, well, no, this probably is not going to open up anything because there's only one character. But, maybe this will open up more roles down the line, but still, there just isn't that many, or there aren't that many actors who could have played this role.
No, but they could. But what I'm saying is they could have changed his appearance.
Peter Dinklage can be like, fuck that, I'm not wearing 2
Exactly, and I think that may be part of it. I read an interview with him where they asked him, what did you say when you went in? And he said, look, I just told him I don't want to look like a fool. I don't want to play the whole, the imp.
Yeah, that's the same one I read.
That's not how he wanted to play it, and so I think that was part of what they said to him. Like, okay, fine, you're not gonna do that. But then, of course, in the 3rd season, he's gonna have this huge, ugly scar and whatever.
Put that on every day, huh?
Badass scar.
Oh, I love it, man. I want one. Can somebody just, right across, right there. I have one on my wrist, but that's, it's not as cool.
Brienne.
She is such an. I mean, you could see the love in his eyes. Jamie was like, oh my god, he had a big wood, and he was just. I've never seen Jamie look at someone who was just. He was amazed at what he had just seen. I don't think.
Fucking gag him. I would gag him.
He has a nice voice. So.
Yes, he does have a nice voice.
Oh.
Yeah, no, and I'm saying that as a hetero male. I like the sound of it.
It's the second time you've said that on this podcast,
It's
Magnus.
so. Listen, I may be a little. I sometimes look if
Even it's gay pride month.
if the guy is super hot and I'm really drunk, I may just look at him a certain way. But that whole scene, I like the way she just takes it to that last guy, and she's like, really, like you took your time with the one? Oh, man, that was just fucked up.
Awesome.
The only thing I didn't like was the continuity error immediately after she killed him. That's all. There was a continuity error. I don't know if anyone else noticed it.
Of course you saw that.
I look, I can't help it. I have like a continuity error. I don't know if it's a phobia
Dar.
or I have issues with
An error dar.
Yes, I have continuity error issues, and
Taylor's gagged. I think he's in agreement with my hatred of Jaime Lannister, and that he should be gagged.
I think that I look forward to Jaime Lannister dying someday, but I know he won't.
Oh, I can't wait.
Because he's such a douche, he'll never die.
He has
Like
way
Sansa's
too many hilariously annoying things to say to be killed off.
That's true. That's true. He is very funny at times, even when being a douche. I hope that in season 3 he isn't tied up the entire fucking season, because that's not as exciting, I think, for his character to just be always tied up.
Yeah.
Although I would love it if him and Bree just fall in love. Oh.
First of all, I think
Bree.
that she plays for my team.
Oh, well, she may play for your team, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to try, because he's Jamie, and
He
he's
even said that.
he's Jamie, and he's a douche, and he will try to.
She's gonna try, but
Yeah.
you could kill him.
I don't think she is gay. I don't think so.
No, she just appears to be like the East German Olympic.
East German shot putter.
Have you seen her, like, the photos of her out of character?
She's like normal.
I wouldn't say she's normal. She's just not hideous. She's not
Rude.
hideous. I mean,
She's
no.
not hideous on the show. She just looks like oddly pale and large.
Yeah.
As much of a badass as Brienne is, Theon is as much of a pussy as she is a badass. Like, that's how much of a
Oh,
fucking pussy
Theon,
she
I
is.
thought we might get through this.
I cannot stand him.
I thought we might get through this.
I was
without-
trying to avoid Theon because I know that Jess hates him so much. But now
Okay, I did laugh out loud when he got knocked out. I was like,
That was hysterical.
come on, it's the best speech the entire season. The
I
best
know.
No,
war speech.
no.
And then one of his
War speech was better.
right hand just knocks him out, and he's like, and they were like, "Oh my god, I thought he was never gonna shut up." And he's like, "Yeah, it was a good speech, though, you know." Now, who the fuck? Okay, since you brought it up, we don't have to talk about Theon much more than that. But who the fuck set fire to everything and it killed all the?
Yeah, because
Wait.
there was 20 men inside. There were 500 Stark army outside. So how in the hell did Winterfell burn? And what happened to all of those? What happened to the entire army?
What the fuck? Something had to happen. Did a dragon show up? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, fucking people are dead, and the whole fucking place is up in flames, and there's no siege.
yeah, that was weird because I assumed they knocked Theon out so they could bargain their way out of there.
But why is part of the bargain to set the place on fire?
I don't know.
So something's missing. There's something that we don't know yet. I guess we'll find out next season. And thank God, next season's only 10 months away.
I don't get why their dire wolves look totally different than they did in season 1.
My dog started out black and white, and he died black and white, so...
True to the end.
Daytona, I miss you. Sorry.
I've never even seen your dog, but I think it was cute.
He was so fucking adorable. I should post a picture of my dog. He was so adorable. From the day, he was always like a little puppy until basically the last 6 months of his life when he just went downhill.
How old is he?
He was 13.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome they lived that long, you know?
No, it was. It was just, you know, how quickly
Very sad.
how quickly they go from like, hey, you're so much fun to, oh, and you're gone. Although, as I like to say, he was more my brother's dog than mine. But, you know.
Whatever helps you get through it, Magnus.
Shut up. Shut up. Don't make me have emotions.
I'm so fucking tired of the Lannisters getting away with everything. I want Cersei dead.
When you have that much money, it's kind of like real life. You can do a lot of things.
Yep. People who have power, and especially, you don't even need money. If you just have power, you can get away with anything. Just look at actors.
Get that one guy who had absolutely nothing. Zara and Zara Stoxos.
Yeah.
Everybody thought he was like the
Perception.
shit.
Yeah. Which I loved what Dany did to him. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was badass.
And she was kind of, and I love that she says, you know, thank you for teaching me that lesson. I mean, what may appear as one thing, it doesn't necessarily mean it is.
Things aren't always what they seem.
And that, well, I didn't want to use a cliche. I was trying to avoid using a cliche because she actually uses a really bad cliche when she's talking to her dead husband. And I don't know if it was written that way in the book,
what
but
cliche?
it was just those were lyrics to like fucking Wilson Phillips.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I thought she was gonna say you gotta hold on.
I thought that was what I felt like that was said before in this show, in relation to something.
It may have been, but I'm just saying, like the fact that
maybe he's a fan
of Wilson Phillips.
I'm a fan.
Actually,
well, he didn't write the episode, so.
Actually, yeah, no, but I mean, maybe they took it out of the book. But he wrote the books right around the time Wilson Phillips was really huge.
There you go. Maybe she should have said, "Hold on for one more day."
Maybe they got their lyrics from his book.
Well, that's funny you mention that because 2 songs from a band called The Sword. What's it called? The Mother, the Maid, whatever that one thing they said during the. It's the Goddesses or whatever.
So are you not married if you don't say it at the same time?
Yes.
Walk out down that road, I cannot tell you where it goes. Ask me no more questions, things you weren't meant to know. A greater mystery cannot be shown. Divided by 3, they are the maiden, the mother of Crone.
Because it's something to do with the goddesses and the gods and blah blah blah. And another.
The band Imagine Dragons?
No, it doesn't sound like anything I've heard before, but
Yeah.
I may have. And then there's another song about the Night's Watch, that's also by that band. So, and there's actually metal bands, a lot of metal bands do tons of stuff about like Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. So, because you're never gonna hear that in a pop song. You're not gonna be like, "Yo, I love." Well, maybe you would hear a
Harry
song.
Potter has a lot of pop bands related to them. Yeah, it's called Wizard Rock.
Wizard Rock.
It's the genre.
Oh,
It all
Lord.
started with Harry and the Potters, and now there's like a million bands.
All right, let's just rate the episode because I'll forget to do that. I gave last week's 97.
Correct.
Okay, this week gets a 98.
You're leaving room for...
Oh no, I can never give 100 because 100 is always left over for the series finale.
Well, and also he noticed there was a continuity error with Brienne.
There was a continuity error that drops at a point, and then I drop at another point for not enough huge scar. Oh, and no. Okay, fuck that. I forgot to mention something. I thought that the Tyrion scene with his little whore wife, I thought that was so sweet at the end. That was so romantic, you know. Their little,
Well, he looked really bad when he started crying.
and
He
then,
thought he looked bad, but
so
then he cried and he did look bad.
It's so mean. And I just want
He's
to say,
a dumbass. He needs to leave. If you think Cersei is ever letting up on him, he's insane.
so, all right, so I rated it a 98 out of 100. Jess, do you rate? I don't remember if you ever rate.
We've done... How many episodes of this have we done?
I don't pay attention to these things.
You're not listening to me, is what you're saying?
No.
You don't listen to me?
I don't prep. No, I know the answer. I just like to say it. How about you, Tess? Are you gonna rank 0 to 100?
I'll give it a 92.
Yeah, because of the continuity error.
Yes, of course, because of the continuity error, and because of the fact that Joffrey still has his head.
Since I didn't get to rate, it was... In some ways, it was more interesting than last week, I think, but there was some shit that annoyed me, so... I don't know. Maybe it's even with last week.
Right. And by the way, you did get irate. Get it? She got too irate. Oh, man. That's so lame. So fucking lame.
Say, was it lost points because Dagon Hagar is now ugly. So, that's why it gets an A-.
Really?
His original face was really interesting.
It was, yeah.
Sometimes it almost looked like they were CGIing something on it.
You did mention that, yeah.
I don't think they were, but times it was like, I can't tell if that's like what is going on?
We'd have to see the actor to really be able to tell, but there was definitely something weird at all times with his face.
Yeah.
And again, I rate this one higher only because of the fact that I was expecting a much more of a downer episode, really, and it is still of a downer episode. But I felt if you're gonna make me wait 10 months for the next episode, at least I want to have some emotional kind of like connection to every.
There's no cliffhanger in this.
It just gave momentum for the next season, basically.
But I don't even feel momentum for the next season. I feel like they like wrapped up everything, and it's
I don't think so. I mean,
nah.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, on a lot of shows, it's like cliffhanger at the end, and usually they don't kill off people and stuff. Whereas this show, they'll kill somebody in episode 3.
I am more invested in these characters now than I was then, and I am far more curious now as to what's going to happen next than I was last year. Yeah, so... Oops, my mic always falling.
Oh my god.
Are you having performance anxiety?
Oh my god, yes. Jace LeCobb, whatever the fuck his name is. I read his kind of review, or I skimmed through it. Now, I say that, and I'm pretty sure that it's apparent in the episode. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. Those 3 hanging from the tree were women.
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
Jace does not think so. Jace thought they were men, and he writes that in his review. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw titties.
He said
were
probably tavern girls who serviced
Exactly.
Stark men, so.
That's what I thought. Jace.
Guys, that the Stark men even confirmed that they were women.
Yeah, that's how I read the scene. Jace, very good writer. I don't know how he missed that, though. I don't know how he missed that. But it
Don't
was.
fuck with Brienne.
Did I ever tell you the story about a girl I was dating, and I said something about the East Germans, and she just laughed at me, and I was like, what? And she's like, there's no East Germany. She is a blonde, mind you.
A German?
No, she was just like, there's no East Germany. No, she's an American, of course. And I just love that, man. And then we got into like a 2-hour-long argument of whether there was ever an East
Why
Germany.
don't you just Google it and be like,
It's
look.
in the 90s. Come on.
Oh, I forgot you're old.
I'm not. That's not even the point.
You had a girlfriend? That's what I find the hardest to believe of this whole story.
Oh, I know. It's crazy that I've actually ever had girlfriends.
What did she
So
say
I-
when you did she believe you ever?
I don't remember.
I actually have a nutcracker from East Germany. It has a sticker on it. So.
I think she eventually believed me after I gave her a whole history lesson. I think she said to me,
That'd be too much to make up, huh?
I think that's what she said. She was like, well, that's a lot for you to be bullshitting about. So I guess that's true.